Hey, Dyeverse Designs, positive energy designs for positive energy people. In today's video, we have an instructional how-to for folding a sweatshirt for tie-dye. This will be a regular speed video, unlike my other videos, which are usually a little high speed out of consideration of your time. But because this is a very beginning instructional video, I left it at its regular speed. So come on in, check it out, and enjoy. So here we are. We have our sweatshirt. So you have a sweatshirt and you're like, okay, well, how do I fold this for tie-dye? Now, I'll start this video off by saying that if you are going to do a spiral type pattern, you do not want to use this particular type of fold. This is more for a purpose of like a V pattern or an emblem. Now, if you're doing ice dye, you want to turn the shirt inside out. Otherwise, you want to keep it its normal way. Best way to start is at the bottom, and I just find the side seam. And so I'm just going to take that on each side, put it in my fingers just like that, and lift it right up. That lets me lay it out nice and clean. I just finished straightening it out a little bit. If you were doing a spiral type of tie-dye, you would now already be set. Now the next thing that we need to do is we're going to need to mark our center points. I've already marked mine, but I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to need a washable marker. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to take those two side seams down at the bottom and we're just going to match them up together. Once we pull, we take our thumb to stretch the material inside there out, make our little mark, lift up the one tab, and make our mark on the other one. We spread it back out. Now for the top, there's a number of ways you can really do this. Generally, what I try to do is I try to find two even marks on either side. Like, you can kind of see those two seams right there. That would be one place I could do it. On a men's sweatshirt, the seam is more at the end of the shoulder than this, and so it curves a little differently. You could take it from those kind of seams. So it really doesn't matter, men's or women's. Basically, the idea is going to be the same. Just take 2 points on either side that you know are supposed to be evenly spaced. You match those up. Use your finger to pull down so that you make sure you get the right spot, and you make your little mark. Now for the center of the front of the collar, you could use the two seams that are on either side of it, like what you see right there. For the kind of patterns that I do, I like to really make sure I have a clean straight line from top to bottom. So I use a little metal yardstick like this, and I make the mark that way so I know everything's nice and tight. So now the advantage of this style is that everything on the left side of the shirt is going to mirror the right side of the shirt, the way we're going to fold it. And because of the way we're going to fold it, the front is going to be a mirror image almost of the back. I say almost because the back has that extra space on the collar. So when you see something, if you have anything in this area right here, when you're looking at it from the front, there's only a shorter amount of space between that and the top of the collar. Whereas if you were looking at it from the back, there's a bit more space from the top of the collar to the design. So now what we want to do is we want to take the top and bottom marks and we want to pinch them in our fingers. Index fingers away from us, thumbs toward us. We lift and give it a shake. And I tend to put that top part that I lift up away from me. Okay, the part that was in my fingers, I tend to lay that away from me to get started with this. It just makes it easier to get rid of this extra sleeve. So now, again, there's several ways you could do the sleeve. I just kind of try to get it just loosely placed in there. I try not to mess up that front, the part at the bottom of your screen right now. I try not to mess up that front line too bad. It's not a big deal. We can fix it easy enough. But the main idea, I'm not looking to get that sleeve perfectly folded in there. We'll get that later on. I straighten my front line out again, and then I'm going to look for that back mark on the back collar. It'll be right by the tag. I take that pinched in my fingers, and I find the back bottom mark, and I fold those over to meet the front half so that I get those two lines nice and even. Lift it and give it a nice shake, because we want to try to get that bottom part where the fold is nice and tight against each other. Here I'm just trying to give it big shakes to try to shake that one sleeve down inside the other one as far as I can. And again, I'm going to take where my fingers are holding it, and I want that part of the shirt away from me, because now is where I'm going to really clean up the inside of the shirt. So the first thing you want to do is you want to match up in the sleeves. You'll see these two little seams. You want to make sure you have them matched up. If you don't have those matched up, the whole thing's just not going to go right. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my hand in all the way up as far as I can. Once I have it toward the top, I'm going to spread my fingers out as far as I can spread them. And I'm going to keep kind of wiggling my fingers closer together and apart, closer together and apart as I pull it down to really smooth out all the material, really stretch it out toward the top and bottom of what you can see on the screen. Okay, and that pulls it so nice and sweet. Voila. This is a really damp shirt. That's why you might have seen some moisture on my hands. It's a fleece, and it really needs to be a lot moister than usual. Other things that people do is sometimes people use a ruler like this or a wooden dowel. They'll run those up there to get the sleeves out. I find that the method with the hand and stretching the fingers, if your fingers are big, if your fingers are long enough like mine, it works great. Now the other thing that we need to do is I want to now take the shirt and I want to flip it over so that the side I had away from me is now toward me, and now the sleeve is away from me. And what I want to do is I want to go in, and now I want to kind of, after I get the rest of the shirt kind of straightened out here, I want to go in and I want to make sure that everything up by the collar, I'm just reaching in right between the folds there. But I can go right in there with a wooden dowel. I can use the measuring stick. Kurt Wallace from Tie-Dyed Skies in Colombia uses a knitting needle. That works really well. And I just press the stick, you know, toward that edge and pull out. And that'll get it tucked up nice and tight in there. And so now you've got this really nice folded shirt. Everything's nice and even. Everything on the left is going to mirror the right. The front is going to mirror the back. You get nice even symmetry all throughout the design. And then once you have a nice fold like this, you can actually do some cool designs like this one. This is one I have a video coming out shortly. Today I believe is the 9/11. Oh my goodness, what a horrific day that was. But it is 9/11. I would say by about September 15th or 16th, I'll be putting this video out on YouTube as well. So if you fold your shirt, hang on till then, and you can try this pattern out for it. Please be sure to subscribe. I'm not monetized. I do this just out of the goodness of my heart. My nickname is Living for the Better Good of All, and that's how my mission, that's how I live my life. I put in a lot of hours doing this to try to help other people like yourself out. Let me know, in the comment section, is there something that you want to see, that you want to learn, that you want to know more about with tie-dye, especially on the ice tie-dye or the techniques, for the folds of the shirt type of thing, like that. And I'd really love to help people out. I'd really love to put the kind of stuff out here that you're interested in watching. I'm not putting this out here for me. So, be sure to let me know. Be sure to subscribe. It's an easy way to say thank you for the time I'm putting in, and it helps you live for the better good of all, just like I am. So you're doing good. You're helping do good for somebody else too, and make you feel good. Go ahead and click that button, all right? So this is Dyeverse Designs, sending out that positive energy, living for the better good of all, and hoping you are too.